Hello there guys and welcome back to my YouTube channel and welcome to a brand new video. I hope all of you guys are doing well tonight, and as you can see, the Premier League predictions is back after a long time. Like I said, I do apologize. It's been a long time since I've done a YouTube channel, but I'm back and now the Premier League predictions is back, so I really missed this. So yeah, hopefully next season I'll be able to do all the Premier League predictions from match day 1 to match day 38 if I haven't got any busy stuff to do, so I will apologize. I think the highest score for me is 8 points, and I'm trying to achieve 30. So hopefully in the next couple of games I'll be able to achieve that. And if I do, that'll be brilliant. But it's still a long way to go. So yeah, it's gonna depend whether I got my predictions right or wrong. So we'll just have to wait and see. But if you're happy that this show is back, give this video a thumbs up. If you're new, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell notifications as well. Share this video to everybody so that they can also predict um the matches during the Premier League on match day 31, which starts tomorrow morning. And the first game we're going to predict is Liverpool against Watford. Now, of course, Liverpool are in the title race. You know, the title race ain't over. It ain't over. You know, and I actually thought that since they drop points to like Leicester, to like teams that they're supposed to beat, teams like Tottenham as well, like Chelsea, you know teams that they're supposed to beat. And I literally thought like, yeah, you know what, City, they're gonna win. The title race is over. But since then, it is now City who have dropped points to Crystal Palace, lost to Crystal Palace at home, drew to Crystal Palace away, lost to Tottenham at home. So the title race could be interesting. And if Liverpool win it, then that means they will break City's hearts, because I literally thought that this season that either Chelsea or Man United would definitely be in the title race, because we don't City and Liverpool to win it every single time, but it didn't happen. It really didn't happen. So that's why the title race could be very interesting today, and it all depends on next Sunday between Liverpool and City. If one of them team win, then that means they'll definitely win the league. And also the FA Cup as well, since they're also meeting each other for the FA Cup semi-final at Wembley. So those are the two games that I'm looking forward to. And if I'm lucky enough, I'll be able to do a live watch along for that one. So make sure you stay tuned for that one. But focusing on the Liverpool versus Watford game, yeah, like I said, Liverpool, quad could be happening. They could potentially win the quadruple. They've already won the Carabao Cup, which Chelsea should have won. Potentially could win the title. Potentially could win the FA Cup, and potentially could win the Champions League. That's 4 trophies in one season. And if they do that, they'll become the best team in England, because no other team couldn't do that, and they will break Manchester United's treble record if Liverpool can win 4 trophies in one season. So yeah, this could be the best season ever as a Liverpool, for almost like ever since it was created. This could be the best history. I'm hoping that they don't do it, but there could be a chance. It really could be a chance. Whereas for Watford, yeah, under Roy Hodgson, it's never changed, isn't it? Watford are just a team that always like to go down. Wherever they do one in the championship, they always seem to fall down. So for me, my prediction is 3-0 to Liverpool. Of course, because Watford, for me, I just don't see a way that they could be staying up unless the new owner comes in, they sign some big players, maybe let's have the new manager that experiences enough. That's the only way I can see Watford going up. But for me, since it's the last 7 games or more than that because of COVID, for me, I'm gonna go for a Liverpool win. I don't see Watford beating um Liverpool at Anfield. And plus, no team has ever beaten Liverpool at Anfield. No team, not even Manchester City, not even Chelsea, So yeah, so that's why Anfield is a tough place to go. So that's why I'm gonna go for a Liverpool win of 3-0 for that game. Moving on into Burnley Sorry, Brighton against Norwich City. Now, of course, both these teams haven't been that great. Ever since Dan Smith was first appointed for Norwich City, they have been that good. They're starting to be out of the relegation zone, but since then they haven't been that great. Lost every single game. Lost against Chelsea, lost against Aston Villa, all these type of teams. So Norwich City, they're always a team who always like to get relegated. Like, why can't they not? Why can't they not just manage to stay up for once? Why do you always like to get relegated? Why? Like, it just seems impossible. Next season they could potentially win the championship again, and then after that they could be falling down. Like, it's been up and down for Norwich City. So we're not. No matter which manager they bring in, they always seem to lose every single game. So Norwich City really has to pick up the points, the maximum of 3 points. And if they can keep on doing that, then I can see them staying up. But for me, they're going down alongside Watford this season. Whereas for Brighton, they started off the season really well. Remember, they were in the top four like during the October period. But ever since then, it's the draws that really hurt them, because if they would have turned those draws to wins, they would be in the top six, like in the European places, and that would be big for them, because Brighton have never ever played in European football in their history. They would, and that would be amazing for them under Graham Potter. But they'd just be like a bit of average. I won't say below. I'll just say a bit of average, because they drawn so many games. But yeah, Brighton at the Amex, they expected to win, because Norwich City are in the relegation battle. They're in 20th place. I've forgotten how many points they've got, but they're in 20th. So Brighton fans expect them to win. Otherwise, if Norwich City beat Brighton, boy, they will be disappointed, really disappointed. But for me, my prediction is going to be 2-0 to Brighton, because Brighton look good. Even though Norwich City have got, um, when Dan Smith's announces managerial for Norwich, and they've been really good. They've been absolutely just dead. They're dead. Norwich City just want to end the season right now, because they know they're going to be in the championship next season. Unless they do the impossible and pick up 3 points every single game, that's the only way I can see them staying up. But for me, I don't see that happening. So my prediction is going to be 2-0 to Brighton. The next game, another title contender team, Manchester City, go to Turf Moor against Burnley. Now, for me, Turf Moor is a tough place to go. It really is, because Arsenal went there and only scored one goal. Manchester United went there and drew 1-1. Tottenham went there and lost 1-0. Liverpool went there and just about to win, just won 2-1. Just 1-2-1. Chelsea went there and beat them 4-0. By the way, if Burnley had a few chances to go ahead against Chelsea, but our defender and the goalkeeper shows why we are the best team in the world when it comes to defensive football, if you know what I mean. But yeah, but then we beat them 4-0 because he scored 4 goals in like 10 or 20 minutes into the second half. So yeah, Turf Moor is a tough place to go, but for me, Man City are just too strong. They're really strong. And guess what? Guess what the aggregate score between those two? 32 goals for Manchester City, and Burnley only scored one against them. That is unbelievable. There's been lots of 4-0 wins, 5-0 wins, so that's why Burnley are suffering a heavy defeat against Manchester City. They really are. They haven't beaten them in their previous matches, and I don't think they will do that tomorrow afternoon, because Man City are looking for a win as well. And if both Liverpool and City win, then like I said, next Sunday the title race will all depend in the Etihad when Manchester City face Liverpool, if you know what I mean. So for me, my prediction is going to be 4-0 Man City, even though my head is telling me that no, Man City ain't going to score 4 goals. I think it will happen, them because Man City are too strong. They still got Kevin De Bruyne, they still got Ilkay Gundogan, Bernardo Silva, Raheem Sterling, Ruben Diaz, all these type of players. And guess what? If Man City would have signed a better striker, they would go far ahead. They will not be dropping points at whatsoever. But for me, they're still looking good without a striker. Even though I think that this season Pep Guardiola should have done that, in my opinion. So, but it is what it is. But so my prediction is 4-0 Man City. Simple as. It, you know, it, it could be 2-0. I could be wrong, but my head is saying to me 4-0. They will destroy them because there have been lots of 4-0, 5-0 recently between those two teams. Now, moving on into Chelsea against Brentford, a West London derby. Big game for Chelsea. Now, this is going to be a tough game because Brentford, in the last two games, managed to pick up two wins. You know, be in Burnley and also be in, I forgot what other team they beat in. You know, and the reason why they've done that is because of Christian Eriksen. And guys, I forgot to say this yesterday when I was doing the international breaks with you. I like to say, wow, what an absolute day has been for Christian Eriksen. For Denmark, he's back for Denmark after the collapse in June 2021 during the Euro 2020 Championship. He in the second half, he came in for like a minute and then boom, 1 minute later, boom, he scored the goal. I mean, that was absolutely brilliant. What a year, what a day has been for him. 2 assists and 1 goal for club and country. He has been phenomenal. And facing Christian Eriksen won't be that easy. It won't be that easy. But the reason why I think Chelsea will win is because our squad is just strong enough and better than Brentford, in my opinion. I could be wrong, but the likes of N'Golo Kante, Kai Havertz, and even when you bring off the bench, it's just too strong. So I believe that Chelsea need to go to Stamford Bridge, face Brentford, and get a win. Whether it's 1-0, 2-0, just manage to get to win. Because if we drop points, Arsenal could soon catch up to us because they've got games in hand still. And I definitely don't want that to happen. So in order for Arsenal not to catch Chelsea, we need to pick up this win. So I'm going to go for 2-0 Chelsea. 2-0 Chelsea. I was thinking, Brentford are going to score the goal, but I was thinking, now, you know what? The likes of Thiago Silva, Rudiger, Mendy, we're not going to concede, so I'm going to go for 2-0 Chelsea, and we could do the double for them because we beat them 1-0 at the Brentford Community Stadium, their new stadium. So yeah, we could potentially do that. So 2-0 Chelsea is my prediction. The other game, Leeds United against Southampton. For me, the new manager, I forgot his name, Marco something. His first name is Marco. I don't know what his second name. Of course, ever since Marco has been a manager, they have lost to Tottenham. But since then, they've beaten Norwich City in the 90th minute and have beaten Wolves in the 90th minute. And that game, what a comeback for Leeds United at Molineux. They were 2-0 down, like from 0 to 62 minutes, they were awful. But 63 minutes and up until the 95th minute, they were fantastic. Scoring 3 goals, an amazing comeback, absolutely fantastic. So they're starting to pick up form, and I believe Leeds United are definitely going to stay in the Premier League next season. I know that they will. Whereas for Southampton, I can't remember the last time that they've ever won a game in different competitions. They've lost against Man City 4-1 in the FA Cup, so they are out. So but in the league, I can't remember the last time that Southampton won a game. I really can't. Their last game against Aston Villa, they got destroyed. They've lost 4-0. So that's why I think this game is going to be a 2-1 Leeds win because it's at Ellen Road. It's a tough place to go with for the fans for Southampton, but I think Leeds United will win because if they don't be in a relegation battle, they really need to pick up points here, and I believe they can do that. You know, Whereas Southampton, they really got to fight for themselves and pick up 3 points because the more they keep on losing, the more that teams below them could pick up 3 points, and they could be in the relegation battle. So Southampton, so this would mean so much to Southampton than to Leeds United. You know, in my head is telling me to predict a 2-1 Leeds United win because, like I said, two wins and both of them in the 90th minute. Imagine if they do that again. That would be the third time that they've ever done it, and I don't think any other team has ever done that before. So for me, that game is gonna be a 2-1 Leeds United win. Even though my heart of hearts is telling me that it's going to be a draw, I was thinking now because Leeds United the last two games have been really really good. So 2-1 Leeds United is my prediction. Heading over into the Midlands derby, Wolves against Aston Villa. Now, of course, both teams in the last games have lost. Wolves lost to Leeds United, like I said before, and Aston Villa lost to Arsenal 1-0. But this will be some big game, Midlands derby. Of course, both teams are looking to bounce back and get the 3 points. But the reason why I go for 2-2 is because Wolves in the first half against Leeds United were really, really good. They were phenomenal, absolutely fantastic. But then they let themselves down. For me, I think the Raul Jimenez sending off really changed the game for me. It really did because if Raul Jimenez didn't get sent off, there was a chance that Wolves would have won this game by absolutely, So if Wolves need to pick up a win, they need to make sure that one player doesn't get sent off. Otherwise, Aston Villa will make a comeback, if you know what I mean. But whereas for Aston Villa, they were unlucky not to at least get something against Arsenal, which is like a draw, because the amount of chances that they have, they were just not good enough, and the Aston Villa fans were booing because of the disappointing performance and the loss against Arsenal. So for this game in the Midlands derby, it's tough to predict who will win, and that's why I went for 2-2s because both teams, like I said, want to bounce back and pick up the 3 points, but it's so hard to predict. It really is because Wolves. I'm not sure if Raul Jimenez is coming back. I'm really not sure. Whereas for Aston Villa, they still got Coutinho, Danny Ings, Ollie Watkins scoring goals for club and country. He has been looking good, so that's why this game is so hard to predict. So my prediction is going to be 2-2. I could be wrong. One of these teams can win, but my head is telling me that it's going to be 2-2. So that is my prediction for that game. Heading over into the 5:30 p.m. kickoff, Manchester United against Leicester City. Big game, big game. Manchester United, though, this season, I thought that this season when they signed Varane, Jadon Sancho, Cristiano Ronaldo, that they were the team who was going to be challenging for titles. But Oli is not an experienced manager. He's not getting the best out of these players. And it has to blame, if I was a Manchester United fan, I would blame more of the Glazers than the managers because the Glazers doesn't care about this club. They don't, because if they do care, they will bring in a manager who is experienced, like Thomas Tuchel, like Pep Guardiola, like Jurgen Klopp. They need to bring in a manager who will get the best out of Jadon Sancho, Varane, and Cristiano Ronaldo. Can I tell you the truth, guys? Yeah, these players are not shit. All of them, Rashford, from goalkeeper to striker, they're not shit. But the reason why they play like this is because Ole is not an experienced manager, and Rasmus Houston is not an experienced manager as well. You know, if Ten Hag comes to Manchester United and we get the best out of all of these players, then I believe that next season that Manchester United will at least be challenging for the title. Because ever since Alex Ferguson left, they haven't won the title since, and they haven't been winning Champions League as well. And that's what Manchester United fans want. They want to win big trophies. They want to bring back the glory of Manchester United. But the more they keep on dropping points and not being a title race, the more it's going to hurt the fans, the manager, and the players because Manchester United are the best, biggest club in London, first place. But Liverpool are catching them because they have the same amount of trophies, which is 66 trophies. So Manchester United have to be careful because if they don't win trophies, then Liverpool could be above them when it comes to major honours. So that's why I think Manchester United really, really need to be back when it comes to winning the Premier League, the Champions League, maybe the FA Cup, and probably the Carabao Cup as well, if you know what I mean. So yeah, Manchester United this season they have been shit, absolutely shit. They've got knocked out by Atletico Madrid, whereas for Leicester City they're through to the quarterfinals of the Europa Conference League, and they've also been in Brentford as well. So yeah, but I think for this game, Manchester United should win this game. They should because excuse me, if they want to be in the top four, they've really got to turn this thing around. And when they face Arsenal, they've really got to beat them as well because Arsenal are starting to pick up 3 points. And if Arsenal being in the top four rather than Manchester United, that would be worse. That will be worse for Manchester United because for me, the top four this season for me should be City, Liverpool, Chelsea, and Manchester United. That's it. Arsenal should not be included in this. And I didn't think that Arsenal would be in the top four, to be honest with you. But it actually happens, And if they are in the top four, then I'll congratulate them. I will. But they should not be celebrating too much because imagine if the group stage they face tough teams like Bayern Munich, like Real Madrid, like Paris Saint-Germain, and they got knocked out. That's the thing. But if they do get into the top four, then that's good because at least the players will be able to come to Arsenal and attract big players. And also Thomas Partey will be playing in the Champions League since he left Atletico Madrid, if you know what I mean. So yeah, so this game means it's an important game for Manchester United rather than Leicester City because Leicester City haven't been that great. I thought that there'll be a team who are going to be in Europe, but it's not actually happening. That's why this season has been ups, down, ups, down, ups, down every single time. So, yeah, as this season, it's just been like Man City definitely going to win the title, but it slipped. Newcastle relegated, but they're staying up. The top four race is still on, if you know what I mean. So it's been up, down recently. But this game, I'm going to go for 2-1. It will be a tight game because Leicester City did beat them at the King Power Stadium 4-2, and they're looking to do the double over them for the first time in a while. They're looking to do that. Because last season they beat them 2-1 at Old Trafford. So that's why Manchester United are looking for revenge on them. They are. So that game, 2-1 to Manchester United. If Leicester do win, then boy, Manchester United are in deep trouble because Tottenham could potentially be above them for the first time in a while, if you know what I mean. So Manchester United really got to be serious and pick up the 3 points. They really, really do. Moving on into Sunday games. The first game, of course, is a 2 p.m. kickoff and it's a big game. West Ham United against Everton. Now, of course, both teams are looking to bounce back because Everton, I would have thought that they would go to Crystal Palace and at least get a draw and at least win on penalties, but that didn't happen. They got absolutely bounced by Patrick Vieira's Crystal Palace team, and basically Everton are in deep trouble. They're out of the FA Cup. They're in 16th place. They're in the relegation battle. So I feel for Manchester. I mean, sorry, for Everton players, the managers, and even the fans as well. And if Everton do get relegated, then the Liverpool fans will be disappointed because the Merseyside derby is a big derby, and their stadiums, Anfield and Goodison Park, is close, like the closest stadium in England. So if Everton do get relegated, boy, it's gonna hurt Frank Lampard as a Chelsea legend. Even I'll feel bad for them because Everton, for me, is also part of the big club. That you guys may think, oh, it's a small club. No, it's not, because in a few seasons ago they were in the Europa League, and they've been a team who has been above the mid-table team. But for but 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 this season is completely changed. It's completely changed. So for Everton, they really need to pick up the 3 points if they want to stay in next season. Because they lose to West Ham, then that's it. Then that means that there's no chance of them staying up unless the other teams below them don't get the win, if you know what I mean, the likes of Burnley, Norwich City, and Watford. So for Everton, they really got to concentrate on this. But the reason why I went for a West Ham win is because even though they've lost to Tottenham, they had a few decent chances, and they're really doing well in Europe as well. They've knocked out Sevilla, a team who's won this competition more times than any other team, and they're facing Lyon, which is going to be tough for them. But I think they'll pick up a win. And imagine if West Ham actually win the Europa League, boy. They'll be joining Chelsea as another team in London who has won European trophies because Arsenal and Tottenham haven't won a European trophy ever. Whereas for Chelsea, only team in London. And if West Ham do win the Europa League, so yeah, so so the Europa League, so there will be another team in London for me who will win the Europa League. So yeah, it's going to be very interesting, very interesting. But that's why for this game I'm gonna go for a 2-0 West Ham win. Even though my heart is saying go for an Everton win because of Lampard, I don't see that happening because the table shows you that West Ham are still in the top four ways, while Everton are in the relegation battle. And this will mean so much to both teams if they can get the 3 points, especially for West Ham, because they've never played for Champions League ever in their history. They've never. Whereas for Everton, they've never been relegated ever in their history. So this will mean so much to both teams. But my haste just saying I just don't see nothing but a West Ham win, unfortunately. If Everton win, if then that's good, really good. That will boost their confidence. And like I said, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I've got to accept it. I cannot just say like, oh, I cannot be like I'm going to say, oh, I wish I went for an Everton win. No, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. That's it. That's what people need to understand when it comes to predictions like this. So for now, West Ham 2-0 win is my prediction. Moving on into the 4:30 p.m. kickoff, Tottenham against Newcastle United. These two teams face, and that game, the reverse fixture at St James's Park was the first game that Saudi Arabia was the new owner for that game, and we all thought that Newcastle are definitely going to beat Tottenham. They're going to beat Tottenham, but it was Tottenham that beat them 3-2. In that game, you know. And yeah, ever since the Saudi Arabians came in, they've been dropping, like keep on losing. But so far in 2022, they've been up, up, like, like elite, love like elite club, like the big club, getting, in the last, what was it, 8 games. They managed to win 6 and they've lost twice. None of the draws whatsoever. The Chelsea game, they didn't deserve to lose. They didn't deserve to lose. They should have had the penalty, like I said, in 2 weeks ago, or sorry, 3 weeks ago. They really should have had the pen. I felt sorry for that. I felt sorry for Newcastle, because if they would have got a draw, I would be disappointed as a Chelsea fan, but I'll give credit to Newcastle because they're a tough team to face. You think it's an easy game? It's not. It really is not. The Everton game, they were unlucky for Everton to score in the last minute. Really unlucky because they deserve to at least to get a draw. Because Everton is at Goodison Park is a tough place to go. You know. So the last 2 games they've lost, but they can only conceded 1 goal. Not 2, not 3, just 1 goal. So that tells you that there's still an improvement under Eddie Howe, if you know what I mean. They're still improving. Like I said, they've only just conceded 1 goal, so they're still doing miracles. And I know that next season, 100% they could be in the Premier League next season. And maybe next season they could be even better than that. Imagine if they're in maybe like 7th or like above the mid-table, that would be amazing. That would be absolutely amazing. That would be the perfect, the perfect way for that season for Newcastle if they can be above the mid-table. So yeah. Whereas for Tottenham, they've been they've been up and down recently, but but they've won against West Ham 3-1 at their ground, and yeah, Harry Kane is starting to becoming one of the greatest goal scorers in Premier League history. He's above Thierry Henry, and he's 2 goals away. As I'm recording this right now, he's 2 goals away from equaling Lampard's 177th Premier League goals. So he needs actually he's 2 goals away from equaling that record, and he's a hat trick away from being above Lampard. I mean, I tell you, Harry Kane, boy, he's scoring goals for Tottenham, but he ain't winning trophies, and that's the main problem. If Harry Kane is desperate want to lift a trophy, he needs to leave Tottenham and either go to City, Chelsea, or Liverpool, because those 3 teams will guarantee you the trophy. I mean, if he would have come to Chelsea, he would have lifted that trophy 100% because he won the FIFA Cup, World Cup, and the Super Cup. And we could have won the Carabao Cup if we just got chances away. If he went to Liverpool, he would have lifted that trophy because Liverpool won the Carabao Cup. Fortunately, they did. If they would have went to Man City and he would have scored lots of goals, Man City would definitely win the league and he would have lifted that trophy. If you know what I mean. So if he wants to stay at Tottenham, let him. But all I can say is that Harry Kane saying that Tottenham ain't gonna help him lift a trophy because he's a best striker, but he's not lifting trophies. That's what not makes you an elite striker. He's not like Lewandowski or Mbappe or sorry, not Mbappe, Lewandowski or Ronaldo. He's not that striker anymore because strikers need to or not only score goals but to lift a trophy. And if Harry Kane cannot do that, then unfortunately he's not that kind of elite striker anymore. So and also he loves to also score against Newcastle United. So that's why I went for 2-2. I went for 2-2 because, like I said, both teams are there. Of course, Newcastle out of the relegation zone, absolutely 100%. Of course, Tottenham, if they win, are looking to be back in the top 4 because the last time they've been in the Champions League was 2 years ago. That was the last time. So they want to be back in it. But it's so hard to predict. Even though as a Chelsea fan, I really want Newcastle to win. Yeah, Tottenham, they're just good at their ground under Antonio Conte. But for me, Newcastle will definitely get a point. If they manage to win against Tottenham, then that means that Newcastle will get better and better and better in a couple of years' time, especially in the Premier League, if you know what I mean. So 2-2 is the final score. The last game of Matchday 31 is the Monday Night Football, and it's the London Derby. Crystal Palace against Arsenal. Two teams who are like above the expectations ex because Arsenal fans expect Arsenal to be in the top 4. They want to be back in the Champions League, and so far they did that. They've still got games in hand, but those games they could potentially drop points to the likes of maybe Chelsea, maybe Manchester United, maybe Tottenham as well. So those are the 3 games. It's difficult, and they're facing Newcastle as well, and West Ham too. So those are the games that could be difficult for Arsenal. They really, really could. Whereas for Crystal Palace, under Patrick Vieira, absolutely amazing. Like the first team this season to make to go against Manchester City and get a clean sheet twice because they beat them 2-0 at the Etihad and draw 0-0 at Selhurst Park. And also they're in the FA Cup semi-final for the first time since 6 years. 6 years. Like in 2016. We're in 2022 now, so it's been 6 years since they last been to the semi-final. So Patrick Vieira is doing wonders, absolute wonders for for Crystal Palace, and he could be one of the best one because you know No, because I would have thought that Crystal Palace would just be like last season and all that stuff, but they're really improving, and they're really improving. Of course, Arsenal fans hate to see Patrick Vieira lose this game, you know. But for me, Arsenal, in that game, in that Emirates, they were lucky to at least get a draw, because for me, yeah, Crystal Palace was so better than Arsenal in that time. They were far better than them, you know. And when Lacazette scored the last minute, I was like, yes, it's good to celebrate, but don't celebrate just like, oh, you just won the Champions League and all that stuff. You've Against Crystal Palace, that was a game you scored an equalizer. If we would have done that against maybe Liverpool or Manchester City, then I'm fine with that. But against Crystal Palace, you celebrate crazy. You scored a last minute equalizer. That is just not good enough. That's really not good enough. And at that time, I felt sorry for Patrick Vieira, the Crystal Palace players, and the fans, because they deserved the 3 points in that game at the Emirates. They really deserved that 3 points. So yeah, so for this game, even though even though I really want Crystal Palace to win, Arsenal have really been consistent this season. They've only lost to Liverpool so far, and that's basically it. That's basically it. But for this game, I believe Arsenal will drop points. I could see this being a draw, even though I want Crystal Palace to win so that Arsenal cannot catch Chelsea in third place, if you know what I mean. So yeah, 2-2. 2-2 for me. I'm hearing that Zaha is still out, which is a shame for them, but it's still got the likes of Usam Dembele, Conor Gallagher, who's been on fire for Crystal Palace this season, for club and country, has been brilliant. They still got really good players that can go against Arsenal. If Arsenal do win, they're really well done to them, but I don't see that happening. Selhurst Park is a tough place to go. It really is. It really is. So don't take this as like a 3-0, 4-0 win. Just don't. Because if you say that, then you're disrespecting Crystal Palace. You really are. So don't expect this as an easy game. So my prediction for this game is going to be 2-2. 2-2. It's close claim, just really close. I bet one team, like in the final 10 minutes, when it's 2-2, one team is trying to look for a winner, but I don't think it will happen. I could be wrong, but I know that both teams are trying to look for 3 points, but for me, it's so hard to predict who's going to win that game. It really is. So my prediction is 2-2 in that game. And that is it, guys. That is the end of the Premier League predictions match day 31. So if you really enjoyed this, give this video a thumbs up. Thank you for watching as well.